Hello guys, yes, today I am going to talk about cheap things again. I don't know why I keep on making these videos. I mean, I keep making them for Babybats, hoping to show Babybats that being goth is easy and affordable if you just want it to be so, but I don't know why I'm making it because I can't remember for the love of me when was the last time I've actually seen a Babybat last, I don't know, I feel like subcultures are dying out, like the Gen Z kids people, I don't know, they don't have any subcultures, it's scary. Like, I know this is the whole e-girl boy thing, I don't know what that is, but as far as my research took me, it's not really a subculture, it's just a style and a TikTok thing, there's no culture behind it, so I wouldn't call that a subculture. There was something like a Visco girl for Mermaid and they had some idea behind it, something deeper. That seemed promising, but I think that was around for 2 months. But I don't know, I look at the young kids and I don't know, I tell them about goths and punks and emos and they're like, what do you mean, old lady? What are you talking about? So I don't know, are there any Babybats there anymore? Well, in case there are still Babybats out there, in case you are a Babybat, then welcome! This is another video in a gazillion videos in a series of how to be goth cheaply and affordably and still manage to do whatever you want to do. Let's go! So we've already talked millions of time about jewelry and about clothing, but I don't think I've talked about makeup that much, which, let's be honest, is a very important part of being goth. Like, you wanna, you know, scare people to some extent. I mean, technically we don't, but for some reason we do anyway, that's beside the point, I don't know. And makeup for a lot of people is pretty expensive, because when you think about, I know if you're a goth like me that likes to, you know, have fun with colors as well, so today I'm a little bit more orangey to fit my sweater, you know. Then, you know, if you want to go to Sephora or something and buy a makeup palette like that, shit's expensive, and you know, you might want to, I don't know, have better eyeliner or whatever. All of that is expensive. So today I'm going to show you that, as with everything in the goth subculture, makeup can be something very cheap as well, that you don't have to worry much about either. And you can just enjoy for yourself. So without further ado, let's get into the makeup. So first things first, the easiest thing to begin with is makeup. Is eyeliner. So this is the eyeliner that I use the most. I don't even know what brand this is. I don't know. But I use a lot of eyeliner, and I don't see a reason to spend a lot of money on eyeliner because in 3 or 4 months I'm gonna be out of it anyway. And so I buy the cheapest drugstore eyeliner I can get, and that's always worked out perfectly for me. So this would be around, if I change that to dollars, it's around £2.50 per bottle like this. So that would be, I don't know, $3, $4 maybe. I don't know how to dollars, but yeah, cheapest thing, because this goes through very quick. I just buy something that's waterproof and that's it for me. And I also, because I like to have heavier, I mean, I know there are girls who have way heavier eyeliner than I do, but it's my point is that these are pretty thick, so I like to have a thicker brush as well. And you can totally get this at the drugstore very cheaply, at least where I live, so that's what I go for. Same with mascara. This mascara is, once again, I don't even know what a okay, you can't see that, bourgeoisie, I don't freaking know. Also, even cheaper than the eyeliner. And what I do is I put on 10,000 coats of mascara, just kidding, I just put on 5 to lengthen my eyelashes, and that's it for me, because as with eyeliner, I go through mascara very quickly, and I don't really get fancy eyeliner, but I do get fancy mascara once a year for my grandma for Christmas or something. And I'm gonna be honest, to me personally, apart from the fact that the drugstore mascara isn't always waterproof, but I just always try to buy waterproof, the hella expensive mascara isn't any different to me from the cheap expensive one. It stays on just as long, and I don't see a particular difference, honestly, so it doesn't bother me to buy cheap ones. So if I can just give you some help and idea here, eyeliner and mascara, buy the cheapest shit you can find, unless you're allergic to it, then maybe don't, but find something cheap. I usually use also mascara, very thick bottle brushes, brushes, and something that will hopefully last. So that's all I can give you. Getting into the more interesting things, lipstick. So you probably, I don't know, depending where you are, this is my lipstick as of now. The black one's nearly dead. I bought this in England, yeah. But I don't know if in which countries England exists, but they have like I think it would be $10, something like that, per lipstick, which in my opinion isn't that much, because if you go to Sephora it's like $30–40 for a lipstick, and even though I put on a lot of lipstick, it doesn't really, like, I've had this lipstick for how much now, 2 years I think, so it's a good price, it's good money in my opinion. You can also use NYX. The thing that I like NYX, and generally when it comes to cosmetics, Inglot, drugstore and NYX are my go-to things, and I highly recommend all those three. I'm sure there are different, like, relatively good quality drugstore makeups that you can go for, but I just don't know of any. But the thing that bothers me with NYX's lipsticks, especially the liquid to matte, which I do have a few because I actually very like, my favorite, absolutely favorite lipstick is a NYX lipstick that is black, but has a shit ton of glitter that sparkles blue and purple, so I just bloody love that. So, you know, like, don't get me wrong, NYX's lipsticks are my favorite on one hand, but on the other my problem is that their lipsticks are a little bit more expensive than Inglot, not a whole lot, like $2–3, but they are a little bit more expensive, and at the same time, I mean, where I live, because if the prices are different at your place, I'm sorry. But my problem is that they go bad much quicker, and I don't know if it's because they've got a different structure or whatever, recipe, or if it's because they're liquid, but I've had this for 2 years now, as I mentioned, and I don't know if you can see, but there's nothing really wrong with this lipstick. If you see any sparkles, it's because I oftentimes put this on Inglot's sparkly white lipstick to have sparkling black lips, so that's why it can sparkle a little bit. And I've never used the lipstick from Inglot that would go bad. Like, they don't smell anything, but NYX's lipsticks, after a year and a half, 2 years, even if you haven't used up like half of the bottle, it starts to stink, and you can't use it because, you know, I know that generally makeup has a time of death, let's say, but I know it doesn't bother me because it never hurts my eyeballs or my lips. But, you know, you're not going to wear something that's constantly smelly under your nose, and it's just not nice. So that's why I prefer Inglot's lipsticks. I highly recommend, but NYX is good too, if that's what you like. Wouldn't recommend drugstore lipsticks, mostly because I've never seen a black lipstick in a drugstore or anything more interesting in a drugstore, but that's just for me. And the last thing is probably the most interesting to a lot of you. If you're just wanting to buy black, go for drugstore, really. Drugstore is really good makeup. But if you're looking for more colors, I suggest Revolution. Now, I didn't buy this palette, I got it from a friend, but I know how much it costs, and it was around $8, which is cheaper than my lipsticks. Yeah, and it actually smells pretty nice, pretty powdery. This is the Mermaid Revolution eyeshadow palette. It has 32 colors. This is what they look like. Oops, sorry, I'm trying to see if you can see them. So you've got a nice amount of colors. They stay on pretty nicely, actually. This one here is my favorite, I think. No, sorry. This one here, because you can't see it here, but it actually shimmers depending on the light. It's blue or purple, which is pretty cool. But you've got a nice choice of colors, which I like to experiment with, which is nice. And it actually does stay on just as long as, because I'm not gonna lie, I've never bought an eyeshadow palette for myself, but I do have 5 eyeshadow palettes, all from friends, boyfriends, one boyfriend, etc. And I do have some, the majority of them are pretty expensive, I'm not gonna lie, but this stays on just as well. Like, okay, I have to put more of it for it to look good, as in I'd have to do more layers of the eyeshadow on my eyeball, but it actually stays on exactly the entire day, just as with my other palettes. Some colors even, because for instance if you buy Sephora, I have a Sephora palette of 90 colors, and some of those colors are great and they'll stay on the entire day, and some of those Sephora eyeshadows are not going to stay on the entire day, they're going to rub off. So some of these actually stay on better than some of the expensive ones. So I recommend Revolution, because if you want some nice makeup, the quality in my opinion is just as good. I've had this for 2 years now, maybe even 3, I think 2, maybe wrong, but I think 2 years. And quality is great. They last just as long, haven't given me an allergic reaction, anything like that, and they were super cheap. It's like I said, this palette costs less than the lipsticks, so if you're looking for some goth, interesting makeup and things, Revolution is a nice way to go. Once again, can't stress it enough, those are the prices and the things that work in my country. I understand that in each country the prices might differ. The same company that is cheap here may be expensive somewhere else, and vice versa. So those are just basic tips from me. But yeah, so if you are a Babybat and or if you're just looking for some nice but affordable cheap makeup, I hope I've helped you out in some way. Oh wait, there's one more thing. If you're looking for powder, white powder, I highly recommend Stargazers. I know they are a whole company and they have a lot of things, however I haven't tried out their things. I haven't tried out their black lipstick, which was pretty good. I actually enjoyed it, but it was very liquidy, as in it wasn't a stiff, but it was kind of liquidy. But I've been using their white powder since, I don't really use powder anymore, but I've been using it since I was 13 and it's always worked perfectly well for me. Generally Stargazers is a very, very nice company, however not everything from them is okay. The foundation, this foundation's shit, okay? Don't buy it. Don't buy it. I love Stargazers, but this is shit. Don't waste your money. Just don't, okay? It's patchy and it's ridiculous. It doesn't stick to your skin at all, but their powder is great. So I have a normal foundation on. I always put a normal color foundation, just put on the powder, and depending on the powder, you can make yourself look as pale as a bloody wall, you know, it's all up to you and how many layers you put in. So that's another very cheap, affordable thing. That's also, it's not a drugstore brand, but it's easily exactly as cheap as a drugstore brand. So when it comes to your powder, I highly recommend Stargazers as well. Although it's like I said, just the powder, maybe the lipstick. I haven't tried their other things out. I haven't tried their eyeshadows or anything, so I can't really speak about that. So I hope I've helped you out if you're looking for some cheap, affordable makeup, but also want it to be fun and not just, you know, your typical thing, something a little bit more interesting. And yeah, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.